Morning everyone and welcome to today's science class. So today we are going to study about the structure of leaf and the function of leaf. So before we start, let's have a quick recap of things which we have studied in the last class. So in the last class we studied about the function of stem, how it helps to conduct water and minerals, and for that we also discussed the activity 2, where we would require glass, tumbler, water and red ink. So I hope you have understood this activity. Again, let me just quickly discuss this activity today also. So we need a glass tumbler, water and red ink, and then we need also a small stem containing leaves. Now when the water is mixed with red ink, the ink dissolves in the water, and then when we put that stem or we immerse that stem in the glass tumbler, we see that the color of the leaves starts changing, or the veins present in the leaves, they appear red in color, and that happens because the water containing that red ink flows all the way to the leaves. So this experiment shows that stem helps to conduct water along with the minerals. And when we take the cross section of the stem and we observe under microscope, we see there are some holes arranged in a circular manner. So here if we notice this part, there are small holes which have arranged themselves in a circular manner within the stem. So these small holes are the narrow tubes present inside the stem. So these small tubes, they help to conduct water and minerals to all the way to the leaves. So this is how water reaches the leaf with the help of stems. And in class 7 you will be studying in detail about the vascular bundle and vascular tissues, and more specifically xylem tissue. So xylem tissue is responsible to conduct the water in plants, and there is another set of tissues which are known as phloem that helps to conduct the food which is manufactured in the leaves to all the parts of the plant. So that again you will be studying in class 7. So that's all for the stem part, and today we are going to start the leaf. Now let's start with today's class. So leaf, here is a picture of a leaf. Now there are different parts in this leaf. So petiole and lamina. Now what is petiole? Petiole is that part that connects the leaf with the stem. So this portion which is here is called petiole. Now petiole is the outgrowth that helps to connect the leaf with the stem. So this is petiole, and the broader part or the green part which you see, this is called lamina. So these are the two parts of a leaf. Now let's discuss this activity 3, to know how veins are arranged within the leaves, and the impression that appears here will confirm the presence of veins. Now this activity is like similar to ones which we most of us must have done, like putting a coin under a paper and then setting the paper, and then we get the impression of the coin on the paper. So this is a similar kind of experiment where instead of coin we will take the leaf and then we'll start setting the paper with pencil, or even you can use any ink. So this is activity 3. Now this, put a leaf under a white sheet of paper or a sheet in your notebook. Hold it in a place as shown in figure 7.9. Now you have to hold in way it is shown in the figure 7.9. Now hold your pencil tip sideways and rub it on the portion of the paper having the leaf below it. So as I discussed, it is the similar kind of activity which most of us must have done by putting a coin, and then we get the impression of the coin. Whatever is written or marked in the coin, that appears in the paper also. So while we said, we'll see that the lines, those marks, they appear on the paper, and that those lines are called what? Veins. So these things will appear on the paper. So when you rub it on the portion of the paper having the leaf below it, you will you can see the impression of those veins on the paper. So they are similar to those on the leaf. So these lines on leaf are called veins. So do you see a thick vein in the paper here? Yes. So this is these lines are veins, and this experiment confirms the presence of veins on the leaves. So a thick vein appears in the middle of the leaf, which you can see here. So these are the lines which are called veins. So they are present in the middle part of the leaf. You can see them, they have arranged everywhere within the leaves. So if you take a leaf, you can easily you can see the presence of these veins. Now depending upon the arrangement of the veins on the leaves, they are again classified into different types. Now the arrangement or design made by veins on leaf is called leaf venation. So this is called leaf venation, and if this design is net like on both sides of midrib, then the venation is reticulate. Now what is midrib? This vein is called the midrib. Now these veins which are present in the middle of the leaf are called midrib. Now the design made by veins in leaf is called leaf venation. So they can be arranged in different types, and if the veins are arranged in a net like structure on both sides of the midrib, the venation is called reticulate. So these are some important definitions you should underline in your book. So in the in the leaves of grass, you might have seen that the veins are parallel to one another. Now if you notice this part, this is a leaf of grass, and here the veins are arranged parallel to each other. So this kind of venation is called parallel venation. So these things you can easily notice in the leaves of the grass. So they are not arranged in a similar way as you can see here. Here it is reticulate venation, and here it is parallel venation in the leaves of grass. So these things you can easily observe. Grasses are easily available in our surroundings, so you can take a leaf out of it, and then you can observe the venation over there. So they are all arranged in a parallel manner, so they are called parallel venation. So now this activity is all about the arrangement of veins or the structure of veins in the leaf. So now let us discuss about activity 4, and this activity is to understand another function of leaf, that is the transpiration part of the leaf. So to understand transpiration, let us discuss this activity. Now for this activity we will require a herb, 2 transparent polythene bags and some string. Now why 2 polythene bags? Because one of the polythene bags will put some small branches of plant containing some leaves. So this activity should be done during sunny day. Why sunny day? Because it will provide some heat. So here remember, this activity has to be done during a sunny day. Now use a healthy, well watered plant that has been growing in the sun. Then enclose a leafy branch of the plant in a polythene bag, and then tie up its mouth as shown in the figure. So now as you can see here in this figure, the leaves are being tied over with a polythene bag, and then you can see some inside the polythene bag you can see some vapors coming out of the leaf. So these vapors are the water vapors that comes out from the leaf by the process called transpiration. So this is called transpiration. Now as there were two polythene bags, one of the polythene bags which was empty is simply tied and kept in the sun, and the other polythene bag is tied over the leaves, and we observed the water droplets only in the polythene bag in which leaves were present. So this confirms that leaves, they uh, expel water in the form of vapor, and this process is called what? Transpiration. So plants release a lot of water in the air through this process. So this confirms that leaf, they function and this process, so they carry out the process of transpiration. So now let us discuss activity 5, which will describe another function of leaf. So what are those functions? Let us discuss. We all know that plants prepare or manufacture their own food by the process called photosynthesis, and this process happens in the leaves. So this is another function of the leaf, to manufacture food. Now to understand how it manufactures, this activity has to be done. So activity 5 is all about the function of preparing food. So how we can do this? Now for activity 5 we would require a leaf, spirit, a beaker, a test tube, burner, water, a plate, and iodine solution for this activity. So these are the materials that is required to perform this activity. Now put a leaf in a test tube and pour spirit to completely cover the leaf. Now why spirit is used here? Now we know leaves are green in color due to presence of the green pigment called chlorophyll. Now chlorophyll is responsible for the green color, and we know iodine, we have studied already in chapter 2 that iodine test is used to taste the to understand or to observe the presence of starch in the food sample. So similarly here, to know the presence of starch in the leaf, iodine solution is used. But before that we need to take out the chlorophyll present in the leaf. So for that we need spirit. So spirit, what it does, the chlorophyll easily dissolves in the spirit and then it detaches from the leaf. So here a spirit is simply used to detach the chlorophyll, and it is first of all boiled. So there is a beaker and a test tube. A test tube cannot be put directly, it cannot be directly heated with the fire, so it is put in the boiled water which is present in the beaker. Now heat the beaker till the green color from the leaf comes out. Now due to heat, the chlorophyll easily dissolves in the spirit and then it comes out from the leaf, and thus it gets detaches from the leaf. So once it gets detaches, we take out the leaf and then we pour the iodine solution on it, and then we notice that the color of the leaf changes to blue black, and that change in color to blue black confirms the presence of starch. So why starch is present in the leaf? Because we know food is manufactured in the leaves by the process called photosynthesis. So plants use sunlight, carbon dioxide and water to prepare or to manufacture food by the process called photosynthesis, and therefore once the food is manufactured, it is stored in the form of starch in the plants, and therefore the presence of starch can be confirmed using iodine solution. So simply by using iodine solution also you can perform the experiment, but the thing is you may not notice the change in color, because the green color or that chlorophyll that masks the change in color and we cannot see it properly. Hence that chlorophyll or that greenish color from the leaf has to be removed. So for that reason we need either alcohol or this spirit, which is basically, it contains ethanol. So this is why ethanol or spirit is used in order to detach the chlorophyll from the leaf. So this is all about the leaf, and in the next class we'll discuss about root. And this portion you can read. This portion there's another way where you can understand the presence of starch. So please write down these activities as homework, and in the next class we'll begin the next topic, which is root. So we'll start root in the next